We've got some more new updates coming to College Football 26 very soon, as the last title update of the year is going to be coming out shortly, probably within the next 10 days. Now, they did do a later update last year for 25 that did come out in March, but I really wouldn't expect that this year as it's the second year of the game. I'm pretty sure this last update that's going to be around the beginning of February or the end of January, that's probably going to be the last one for this year's game, and they're going to be completely on to College Football 27 at that point. But there are still some important things that need to be added to the game, and in fact, one of them was done today, which we'll go over. Now, if you want to stay up to date on all of the latest news for the upcoming College Football 27, is we're going to start getting leaks for that very soon and some official news in a few short months. Make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any of those important videos when they come out, because I'm expecting College Football 27 to kind of be bigger than 26 was in terms of things they're going to be adding to the game. So there's going to be a lot of good news for that coming very soon. So let's get into the 6 changes that we can expect for College Football 26 before they move on to 27. And number 1 actually happened a little bit earlier than I expected. It happened today. They have done the end of season top 25 rankings. They have officially updated it. They even made a post on their website. Now, if you want to see this ranking reflected in the game, you do have to download the new roster. I don't think they actually touched the rosters themselves, but if you download the updated roster, it will have the updated rankings, which will now have Indiana at number 1, Miami at number 2, so on and so forth. Here is the list. I'm popping it up on the screen of the end of season top 25, and there were a couple of teams that dropped out of the top 25, which would be the Arizona Wildcats and the Tennessee Volunteers. So for those of you that are going to be starting dynasties or stuff like that later in the year and you want that updated top 25 ranking, it is now officially in the game a little bit early so that you can have that going forward. Now, the second thing on the list is something we've been waiting all year for, and I know people are going to be excited to finally have it in the game, and that is the new Schutt F7 Pro helmet. Not only the helmet, but a bunch of face masks for that helmet as well. Now, I know this is coming to the game because they said it was going to come this year, and we just saw it get put into Madden with the recent Madden update that happened about 2 weeks ago. So they finally got it ready to go in game. The Madden update dropped first, so that's why it hit Madden first, which means it will be coming to College Football 26 in this next update, which should be coming hopefully within the next 10 days. So for those of you that have been waiting for it, it's finally coming to the game. It is one of the most worn helmets in both college and in the pros, so it's good to see them finally get that update for the game. In terms of other new equipment, that I'm not 100% on. The only thing I know for sure is we're getting that F7 Pro because Madden just got it. But I'm not sure if we're getting any other equipment updates for 26. I know we're going to be getting a good bit for 27, and I'll be making a video on that soon for my equipment people. But there are still possibly some more things we could see in 26. They could have a new pair of cleats or gloves that get thrown in there. There could be some new wristbands or QB wrist coaches, because we saw Madden get that earlier in the year, but for some reason, college didn't get it yet. So there is a possibility that those can get pushed in the last update, but I can't really guarantee it. The one thing I know for sure is the Schutt F7 Pro will be added. Now, we're going to continue on with the other big updates to expect for College Football 26, but really quickly, I want to shout out today's video sponsor, Underdog. If you like sports and you like winning money, then you've got to be on Underdog playing their pick'em game. Basically, all you do is pick higher or lower on player stats, and if they hit, you can win some big money. And the best part is if you sign up using my code RAY, R-A-Y, they're going to give you some bonus cash to play with and a free play right out of the gate. So, for example, if you want to play for this week's Championship Sunday for the NFL, they're going to give you Sam Darnold to get a single yard. That means all he has to do is pass for 1 yard, and that's it. You win. And after you play your first $5, they're going to give you $75 in bonus credit instantly in your account when you use my code RAY, and you just can't beat that. Now, the third thing we can expect for the last College Football 26 update is some fixes to RPOs. And again, the reason I know this is because they just did it in the Madden update. And pretty much, for the most part, anytime Madden gets something changed in the game, that change also gets applied in the following college update. Not 100% of the time, but usually, especially gameplay things, because the gameplay is very similar for both games. So if something is affecting one game, more times than not, it's affecting the other game. And RPOs are something that they have kind of patched a couple times this year, but people kept finding workarounds for what they patched. So they had to go in the latest Madden update and redo it to where you couldn't do hot routes on certain RPO bubble screen plays because it kind of made them almost unguardable. So they implemented that fix recently in Madden. They're going to also have to implement that fix in college because you can do it in college football as well. They may even also tweak some of the RPO defense as a whole, as it is something they're constantly working on, but I know for sure the hot route aspect on some of the screen plays, they're going to be addressing that for college football 26. Number 4 are defensive alignment kind of adjustments. This is another thing they did recently in the Madden update for I think 1 or 2 nickel formations. Not really a huge fix, but there were some alignment issues with certain nickel formations, and they did make a fix for that in the recent Madden update. So once again, typically if Madden gets it, college is going to get it as well. They are pretty consistent with doing that. I mean, even years ago when the old NCAA games were around, they did it. And with the last 2 years of college football games, they've been very consistent with doing the same fixes and patches for both. So I do expect some minor defensive alignment adjustments, but this is something that a lot of people might not even really notice, but it is something to expect. Number 5, more uniforms and helmets. Now, this is something that last year they were very consistent with in 25. Pretty much every update had new alternate uniforms, new throwback uniforms, new helmets, because teams are constantly putting new ones into the mix in college football. And every update this year, it's kind of been the same as well, where they've been putting new ones into the game. And I even remember specifically around this time last year for 25, they even did one a little bit later in the year because a lot of teams sometimes will break out different uniforms or different alternate helmets during bowl season. They'll wear different stuff. And so now that bowl season is over, now that the national championship is over, they can look at what teams are doing for bowl games, what teams are doing in the playoffs, what other uniforms they maybe just didn't get to yet from even at the end of the season. We should still see some more of those go in the last update. I don't know how many, but again, according to last year, they did this very late into the year. This year, they've done it every update, so I'm sure there's still some new ones to put in that we can definitely expect in the last update. And number 6 is another thing I expect them to tweak because they did it around this time last year as well. And they kind of did one final roster update at the end of the year. They tweaked some players. They even added a few players that maybe weren't in the game yet. I don't know really when exactly to expect this because roster updates are separate from title updates. And today, technically, there was a roster update for the top 25. I don't know if they tweaked any players in that. I haven't seen anybody speak on that yet. But around this exact time last year, they did kind of do one final roster update where they added some players and they tweaked some players as well. So I would expect kind of a final year-end roster, some type of an update there. Not sure when exactly we're getting that because it will be separate from the title update, but it is something I think we can expect at least based off of last year. Now, speaking of college football 27, we already have an idea of some big things that are going to be added to the game, and if you want to find out what those are, you can check out this important video right here on the screen.